What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mom. I want to say welcome back to Mo Better Kicks. Today, I'm going to do something a little different because, again, I've voiced it many times. I don't care about the cool gray 11s at all, not even for resale. It's just not something I really want to waste my time getting involved with because I don't like them at all, to be honest with you. So I came across the Travis Scott interview with Charlamagne the God, and I wanted to do a live reaction. I watched about 20 minutes of it, and I'm like, I need to get some content out today, and I definitely didn't want to do a live cop of some shoes that I didn't care about. So I wanted to do a live reaction to this interview and some things that are discussed between Travis and Charlamagne. And I know this is not our usual content, and I apologize if you're not here for it. I understand completely. But I believe this conversation and possibly some others will be very important, not only to the sneaker community, but every other community, concert goers, festivals. You know what I mean? What they talk about right now could be huge for a lot of different people, and I'm very curious personally to see how he's feeling, what he's been thinking, and what he's been going through since this tragic event happened. And I know how I feel about the situation, but I would like to get his perspective to see if my feelings are justified. So let me get the mic a little bit closer. So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna just review. It's about 51 minutes long, I think it is. Came out 2 days ago. Like I said, I have watched the first almost 20 minutes. So some feelings are definitely fluttering right now, but I want to start over with you guys. And if you care about this content and want to drop a like, I greatly appreciate it. And again, if you're not, you don't care about Travis Scott, you don't care about what's going on with his shoes, or you don't want to hear about the festival anymore, I understand that completely. So I have no issues with you checking out now. But I want to thank everybody for the support. Subscribers are still going up. I will be doing some sneaker news. I will be doing live cops next week. We got the Paul and Lowe's, I want to call them. What are they called? The damn, I'm sorry. Bear with me. Golden rods, I think, right? Is that what they are? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got the. Oh, I guess those aren't coming out. So yeah, next Thursday. Okay, yeah, the Goldenrod Championships coming out next Thursday. So we'll definitely go for those for sure because I like them a lot. There's a lot of these Air Force Woman high, the women's Air Force One highs. I like those. And then there you go. That's what I'm really here for. The Gore-Tex sales coming out on the 16th. So we will be getting back to the live cops. Don't worry about that. But these just, I don't care about the cool gray 11s. So I wanted to do a live reaction on this channel and a topic that I personally think is important and I do care more about. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's just hop straight into the interview. And I won't try to stop too much, but this is a live reaction, so I will be giving my take on some of the key points that they're talking about. But I do want everybody to get a chance to listen to his perspective and his feelings, because that's what's really telling, I guess, about all this whole situation. Okay, where are we at? Let's get over to full screen. All right, there we go.
What do you do?
How you feeling?
Can't barely hear that. Hold up. I'm sorry. Let's fix the audio. The volume is way low. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right.
Travis Scott, what's up, brother?
What it do?
How you feeling?
You know, I've been on about like different type of like emotions, emotional roller coaster. I mean, it gets so hard because I always felt like connected with my fans.
Mhm.
And I went through something, and I feel like fans went through something, and people's parents went through something, and it really, it hurts. It hurts the community. It hurts a city. And it's just been a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of grieving, and just trying to wrap my head around it. I really just really wanted to be there, and just wish you could just kind of like hold everyone, kind of just heal them, talk to them, have conversations. Um, it just it really just hurts, man.
What's your intention with this conversation? Like what do you hope to get out of this, or what do you hope to get out?
I don't personally have an intention. I just feel like something happened, and I feel like it's just um, I needed just a way to kind of like communicate.
Mhm.
One, the families are grieving. It's fans that experienced something. It's fans that came to a show. Uh, and I feel like I just have like I've always been that person to always see things through
Mhm.
with the people that shared experiences with me. And it just things happen, and I just kind of it's been such a time, and I've just been trying to just really figure things out.
Mhm. I know you. I'm sure you experiencing remorse, but was there any hesitation to have this conversation because of the litigation you may be facing?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course you got people that's just like, oh, what, like but it's not about that.
Um, I want to point out first of all, um, I know from what I know of, I don't want to say I know because I don't know him, but I know he's not big on these kind of interview settings either. You know what I mean? Like he's not a sit down and talk about uh, what's going on type of guy. So this interview being done and being almost an hour long is kind of a big deal, to be real with you. Um, his whole demeanor seems to me personally, and again, I'm a casual fan. I'll say it that way. I don't follow Travis Scott daily or even Travis Scott news. You know what I mean? If it pops up, okay, I'll pay attention to it, but I'm not checking for what's really popping with Travis Scott. Um, but I do like some of his music. I like a lot of his shoes. So in that sense, I'm a casual fan. But his so yeah, take my opinion for what it with a grain of salt, I guess, for whatever you think it might be worth. But his demeanor to me seems that of someone who is beat down emotionally, um, drained, um, maybe a little fed up. Um, you know what I mean? All the backlash, the I guess just being bad mouth. I guess essentially, his character's been in question whether he not allowed but instigated some of the things that were going at the concert, and he seems worn down to me. But yeah, let's get back in it.
It's you're an artist, you whoever people think you are, but at the end of the day, you're a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And you have emotions. You want to communicate them emotions, and trying to find the best way to communicate. How you just feeling,
How have you been coping with the aftermath of everything? Just emotionally, just you as a human.
I've been just in a room for a while, a lot of thoughts, and luckily, you have people around that you can kind of bounce ideas, but it just been, I've been doing this for such a long time, and you nothing like this ever happened, so it just kind of like you just kind of figuring out, and at the end of the day, like these fans are your family, so you just feel like you lost something, and like you do these shows honestly to for people to have the best experience, and just to think that something like this happened, you're just trying to figure out, just wrap everything around. And so even just for the first couple weeks, it was just me sitting down, but I had to really channel these emotions to just remember, like, if no one's gonna be a voice for these people, I gotta like kind of step up and kind of like be a voice to just figure out that, this doesn't happen in the future, it just shows, period. You know what I'm saying? Or figure out the bottom solution of what's going on and just try to ensure people, safety and what they doing,
Yeah, you said you was in the room, but then people saw you at the golf course
Yeah,
with Michael
Thanksgiving,
Jordan and
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg. What
Yeah.
was that?
Before he even talks about this, I don't see the problem, and I know how it can be perceived as, I guess, unapologetic, tone deaf, whatever you want to, whatever category you want to put that in. But this could have been the therapy he needs to get through this event, because he suffered through this tragedy too. These people died at his festival. Um, his festival got cut short because of the tragic events. He's the one losing money. His family's been attacked, etc. So he is suffering just as much as anyone else, and I don't see anything wrong with him reaching out to the likes of Mark Wahlberg or Michael Jordan for counseling, whether they were on a golf course, at a bar, in a therapy session. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see an issue with him reaching out to these elder statesmen, is what I'll call them, for their thoughts and perspectives and guidance. You dig? It's not that big of a deal to me, but people were outraged by it. I guess because a fan ran up to them and asked for autographs and pictures or something. So that's how it became a big deal. Um, I don't think it's that deep, to be real with you, but I can understand some people's feelings towards it.
It was just Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there. It's just good people to have around in the community. And that was just more like a personal time, just trying to get around. Think like some fan came and asked for a photo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Now, let's talk about that night, man. When did you find out things got as bad as they did? Now, that's the question everybody wants to know.
Yeah, it wasn't really until like minutes until like the press conference until I figured out exactly what happened. Even after the show, you just kind of hearing things, but you don't know. I didn't know the exact details until minutes before the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And even at that moment, you kind of just like, wait, what? Like, you just went through something, and it's just like, wait, what?
So you didn't know people that actually passed away and stuff?
Nah.
Wow.
Until minutes before, which is, yeah, and at the thing is like, people pass out, people, things happen at concerts, but something like that, it's just like.
Yeah, people said they collectively heard folks screaming help every time you stopped the song to get your attention. Did you hear any of those screams?
Nah, man. And it's so crazy because I'm that artist too. Like, anytime you can hear something like that, you want to stop the show. You want to make sure, fans get the proper attention they need, And anytime I could see anything like that, I did, I stopped like a couple times to just make sure everybody was okay. And I just really just go off the, the fans' energy as a collective, call and response. And I just didn't hear that. I got music, I got my in-ears, but I just didn't hear that,
Break that down a little more. Like nobody knows what it's like being on stage except for other artists. So speak to us from that perspective of of what you can see and hear. It was like, what, 50,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, you got like a venue, you know, filled with like 50,000 people.
Mhm.
But it's like a sea. You got lights, you got sound, you got pyro, you got your in-ears, got your sound, got your mic, got the music, you got band. There's all type of, stuff going on.
So it's hard to tell excitement from danger, so to
Yeah,
speak.
of course. Everything kind of just sounds the same. And at the end of the day, you just hear music,
Mhm.
and when you do, you just hear monks of things, but when you're in a show, you just enter the show, and anytime you can feel anything close to you, you try to like definitely get to that.
So as an artist, how much can you actually, I guess, help in that position?
You can only help what you can see, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then, whatever you told, you know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody tell you to stop, you just stop. But just wasn't it.
It wasn't that night, huh? Raging has been a part of the culture, of your shows. You didn't on this night, but in the past, you've encouraged, I guess, the kind of energy that could have led to something like this happening. Mm-hmm. Do you think that contributed?
That's another thing, and I've stopped a lot already. It's another thing that's bothered me. This has always been an aspect of Travis Scott, not just Travis Scott, because a lot of people's shows, but mosh pits, raging, all, you know what I mean? Like and people keep trying to attribute it to this younger generation, and it's been a thing decades before, you know what I mean? Like this is not new. Um, I'm not going to go to the point of it, speaking about lives being lost, but like a lot of these festivals and shows get crazy, so I don't understand a lot of the narrative on how, or I don't understand the narrative of why Travis Scott is solely at fault and how he could have prevented any of this.
To the energy of this night?
Yeah, I think, it's something I've been working on, for a while, of just creating these experiences and trying to show like the experiences happening in a safe environment. Mm-hmm. Us as artists, we trust, professionals to make sure that, things happen and people leave, safely. You know what I'm saying? And this night was just like a regular show. Mm-hmm. It felt like to me. As far as like, the energy, people, it didn't feel like it was like, people didn't show up there to just be harmful. Mm-hmm. People just, I think, showed up to have a good time, and then, something unfortunate happened. And I think we really just got to figure out, what that was,
Does raging make it harder to identify when something is going wrong in the crowd?
Well, I think, raging is just they have a textbook, definition, but, in concerts, we've grown it to be just an experience of having fun. It's not about just, harm. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. It's about just letting go and having fun, help others, love each other. It's not about just, harm. Mm-hmm. That's not what it's all about. The show isn't just rambunctious for an hour. Mm-hmm. That's not what it is.
Oh, trust me, I grew up on crunk. Yeah. So, I understand, you don't want it to get too out of hand.
Yeah, but the energy is high, mm-hmm. and that's why you want to just make sure that, people are surrounded, to make sure that people are just having the best experience. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the energy is high, but you make sure that people are there for people to have like the best experience and leave.
Yeah, you want people to have a good time. You don't want people to get hurt
at all.
Yeah. And God forbid, pass away. And it's typical for you to stop a show to make sure fans in the crowd get the help they need. There's even footage of that night of you doing that during the set. Were you unable to sense like a difference in urgency this time around?
I mean, yeah, because you stop the show, but if something's gonna happen, if it's something detrimental, somebody's gonna let you know, or the show just stop. And that just wasn't the case. I just kind of stopped the show. You just ask, you have a call and response with the fans. You try to generally get a response, but if you don't get like a hard
stop,
stop, it's just you can't, you just don't, you just go off of what's going on, you know, which makes it so like so crazy because like, you know, I feel like if, you know, anyone would have known, it would have just been like, it wouldn't have got too far, you know.
What headspace were you in when you posted that initial response video?
I mean, it was, I think it had to have been the night of, you know. So I was just in a headspace of just trying to get a communication out to my fans, you know. And I had little to no information, you know, so I was just trying to figure it out and just communicate to them, you know. Yeah, I was just reacting just literally just to get something to the fans, you know. It's people that showed up.
Do you regret that initial video? Do you regret reacting in that way, or not having all the information before you said something?
I mean, yeah, because, you know, you just don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, I don't, you know, I just wanted to get something out.
And with that being said, he did take a lot of slander for even taking as long as he did to put out a statement. So, you know, it's like, what? Damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess, in this situation. Like, should he have waited to put out a statement after he knew more? I didn't see anything wrong with the statement he put out after he just got word. Like, that first reaction, initial reaction, is very telling to me. You know, the shock, of it all that you could see on his face, hearing his voice, that was big to me. You know what I mean? Like that really shows you, in my opinion, shows you the kind of person he is, where he wasn't I don't want to keep saying defending him, but it didn't seem to me as if he wanted to instigate that kind of action or reaction from the people at the concert that could have led to lives being lost or anyone being injured. But you take that how you will. I'm not trying to sway anybody's feelings one way or the other. I'm just giving my take on what I think.
You know, how my message came out, I can't, you know, I can only go off what I know, but my true intentions of it, you know, was really just trying to get a message across, and, you know, really wanted to just touch to the fans, touch to the families, you know, that we here, we grieving, and we'll get through this, you know, through this process.
So what did you know in that first video?
I mean, at that time, I think we just knew that, you know, people passed, you know, we didn't know how, you know, that it was, you know, the news, you know, I think police came out and said something, you know, you're just going off of what you're seeing in the news, you know, you don't really know nothing. And then as the days go on, you start collecting a little bit more information.
They said there was like chaos and trampling being reported since the early afternoon, like hours before the show even started. Were you informed of any of that ahead of time?
Well, no, like,
and that's not, because I've seen a lot of videos. Actually, DJ from the DNA show posted some clips of people going crazy before they even opened the gates to get in, and they were all trampling each other, running each other. Like, how are you going to hold anyone else responsible for, like, whether it's Live Nation, Travis Scott, Universal, whoever? How are you going to hold any of them responsible for the actions of people before the festival even starts? These people are doing this on their own, not saying anyone deserved anything that happened that day, but at some point, I believe you have to hold people accountable for their own actions. These people were plowing each other like cattle, like they were the ones losing their minds, trampling each other, running each other over prior to any music started playing, before Travis was even on the stage. So I want to understand, and again, not trying to cast any dispersions on anyone, but I want to understand how you can pinpoint any specific person that was affiliated with the festival and hold them accountable for the actions of the fans. And I know that might sound tone deaf and insensitive, and that's not at all the way I intended to come off. But like what I like to do, because I am an aspiring businessman. I want to own a lot of. We have a lot of different business ideas and ventures that we're trying to partake in, and I'm trying to put myself in his position as a businessman. If it were me involved in this situation, I don't understand how I could be held liable for. I mean, within reason, how I can be held liable for the actions of others at my business. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I understand it happens that way, and it's like if I was a bar owner, which is not a venture I want to pursue at all. But if I was a bar owner, a couple guys are drinking a little bit at my bar, they go outside, get into a fight, one guy dies. How are you going to come to me and tell me I was wrong because these two had a disagreement and went out there and someone lost their life? You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? I just, yes, he's taking accountability, but how are we going to put this man on the chopping block because of others' actions? Is what I'm saying.
The police, he came and to my trailer, and he congratulated me on the event, and having something like this in Houston. He let me know that it was mishap at the merch booth earlier. They shut it down, but they opened it back up. They see me got it under control. He was gonna step out and just let us know if we need anything. Have a good show. That was it.
A lot of the criticism, from the tragedy, they say, is in the poor planning and understaffing of the event. As an artist, do you have any involvement in any of that?
Well, I mean, we just, as an artist, you just do the creative. And for this being my festival, I got, bring artists, creatively produce it. And, we just trust in the professionals to kind of just make sure that, people, are taken care of and, leaving safely. I just can control what I can on the stage, and, you have the professionals control what they can in the crowd. It's just hard because as an artist, you want to have like the best shows, and you want to have the best experiences, and you link with professionals to handle that side of it, and you want to know what's going on. I think that's what we got to figure out, and figure out what happened there, how it happened,
You spoke on the Houston police chief, his name is Troy Finney. He came to you, and he said he voiced concerns over the crowd energy. So what did you and your team do with that information?
Well, I think that's what the media. I think that's what the media said, but I think it read to more so that he wanted us to. He knew that our crowd was, the type of crowd that comes at a heavy crowd. So to communicate with them, if we were doing anything outside of the least itinerary. That week we were doing like a lot of charity stuff prior to the festival. So the security at most of the events, but he was just saying this. I guess that statement he was just saying if we do anything outside of what we had on our itinerary, let them know. But we didn't even get to that point.
It's crazy. Being a kicking with you for a little bit, I can see that this is weighing real heavy on you.
Yeah.
So how much do you feel a sense of responsibility for what happened that night?
Well, fans come to the show and have a good experience, and I have a responsibility to figure out what happened here. I have a responsibility to figure out the solution, and I gotta, and hopefully this takes a first step into, us as artists, having that more insight of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And the professionals to kind of, surround and figure out more of an intel, whether it's tech, whether it's more of a response, whether it's whatever the problem is, to figure out that in the future, moving forward in concept safety, make sure this never happens again.
But let's talk about those professionals. Like how much responsibility do you think Live Nation and Score More, the promoters, have in all this?
I mean, they do their job of, setting these things up. So I mean, I think, they when we dial into what specifically happened here, I feel like, even they can kind of help, figure out what happened in a sense. But at the end of the day, I think collectively, everyone needs to just figure out the bottom line solution. But, especially in concert safety, definitely got to have, make sure that, these things are, they're right.
You think these festivals are too big though? 50,000 people is a lot of people for anybody to control.
Yeah, but there are festivals that are bigger,
True.
way bigger. And, I just think it's not about the maximum of it. I think it's about the attention to what's going on and how it's going on. And as long as that's handled, I feel like, things can be, can go okay, will be okay, But if you look at it through the history of festivals, this isn't the first time happening. There's been a long history of this, So I feel like if you look at the overall, view of that, and you kind of like dial in, okay, what can we do better to fix this overall for general concert safety? I think we figure out the problem, and make it better for people to have better live experiences.
Live Nation reportedly agreed to end the concert early after the Houston PD and the fire department declared it a mass casualty event, but the concert continued for another 40 minutes. Was there ever any communication to you on stage that you should end this?
Well, yeah, I mean, they just told me right after, the guests get off stage, we're going to end the show. And that's what we did. Other than that, there was no other communication.
So after the guests, what you mean?
Yeah, after the guest comes out, okay, we're going to end the show. But it wasn't communication on why. It was just, that's what came through my ears.
Oh, so they didn't say stop now.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow. You feel like people are forcing more responsibility on you because you are the front man, because it was Astro World?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm the face of the festival, I'm an artist, so yeah, the media is, they want to, put it on me. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think it's more so about that. I think it's more so about stepping up to figure out what the problem is. And I could take that. I could take, stepping up to figure out what the problem is. I could take stepping into figuring out the solution that never happened to me. Because that's what I generally want to do in general, even just for my community, The whole idea for why I brought this festival to the city was to, show that Houston is something different. And show that there's all different types of lives, all different types of energy, and just bring that morale to the city, and just bring that energy to the city. So I definitely want to, step in to figure out, how can we fix this in the future? What can we do to, change these things,
Do you feel like you did everything you possibly could to help in that situation?
Yes. Yes, anything I physically can, sure, yes. And it just, if knowing, what's going on, you just wish, how you could have yourself better, but standing there, 1,000%.
We know that the families of the people who passed are definitely watching this right now. And there's nothing you could say to heal the trauma these families who lost loved ones are going through. But being that they're watching, what would you say to them directly?
I'll say to them that I'm always here, and that I'm in this with you guys, and I love you, and I'll always be there to help you guys heal through this. And I understand that they're going through, they're grieving right now and finding understanding right now, and it's not just like a right now thing; it's for everything. And these people that came to the show, they are my family. And I've always had that connection to the people I feel like that listen to the music or came to my shows. And that's why I really, it's really hard on me even just, to even like, even, because, they end up, they lost their loved ones, So you know, it's tough. And you know, I just want to always just be there for them, and just always just be able to just know that I'm gonna fix this for the future people, you know, and fix the solution, and fix this problem, you know, and find a solution to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future, and definitely be a number one voice for this, you know.
Um, I was trying to look up. There's this really big rock festival. I guess it hasn't happened in a couple of years, but they have a bunch of different performers. It's out usually out in like a giant field, something of that nature. But he was talking about they were talking about if 50,000 is too much, and he said there's way bigger festivals, and I agree. I don't know if he needs to just dedicate one giant like buy his own 100 acres or something, do everything in the open at this uh, location instead of having, you know what I mean, enclosed spaces to perform at with minimal security, minimal assistance, I guess you could call it. Um, but anyways, I was trying to find the name. I could not find the name of the festival at all to save my life. But I this is about the point where I cut it off and said, let's do a live. But I just I agree wholeheartedly with everything he's saying. He doesn't seem disingenuous to me. He seems, like I said, he seems worn down, beaten, and battered. I would love other people's takes. I'm not here to disagree with anybody or agree with anybody. This is just my personal assessment, and I would like to hear others as well. But I definitely think Live Nation, who else, whoever else had a hand in making this festival take place, I think they need to be a little more present during uh, the backlash of all this as well. Don't let him stand out here on his own. Support him, back him. Yeah, we're all uh, deeply saddened about this tragedy, and we're gonna do whatever. Like, he shouldn't be paying. I mean, I appreciate and think it's good that he wants to pay these families to help them through funeral costs and all that, paying back everybody's ticket costs and all that. But he shouldn't be doing this alone, in my opinion. He wasn't the only one that made this festival happen. Everybody farther up needs to have a part in remedying this situation.
Because that, you know,
That's for
feel like
why
that's
I missed what he said.
find a solution to
Okay.
making sure that this doesn't happen in the future, and definitely be a number one voice for this, you know. Because that, you know, I feel like that's like one of the what we got to figure out. Because other than that, it's like, you know, the show goes on tomorrow, or you know, something goes. Like, how does this get fixed?
This could happen again. It's happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a father. You know, God forbid when your kids are of age, if they're in a situation like this, I want you to put yourself in those parents' shoes right now. What would you want to see come of this situation? If you,
I want to
That
see
was you.
people put their hands together. I want to see people really figure this out,
Right.
not take this lightly, you know, and really act on it. And that's
And I don't feel like he particularly is taking this lightly at all. But like I said, I keep saying Live Nation. I don't know if they were involved. Live Nation, and whoever else was a part of the planning and pushing this festival forward, they all should take a part in this situation. And it seems like they're letting him be the fall guy, and just allowing him to do the cleanup and all that on his own.
That's one of the main things that's important. I feel like they gotta just act on it. It can't just be like something that happens and it just roll over. It gotta be something that's taken serious and addressed seriously, and things formed around it. Time and a lot of time and a lot of thinking power spent on this, and really fixing whatever system needs to be fixed.
From the lawsuits to the media coverage, do you feel like you're personally under attack?
I mean,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You see a name in it and shit, and it's like, but at the end of the day, you step in these, you want to do a festival, and when you want to do things and you want to build up, it comes with certain things, right? So I think it's all about how you respond to it, and I think it's all about how you react, right? So I could feel that way, but I think more so about it's more about how I feel about the response that I care about more so, which is actually trying to step in and really step up to really fixing what's happening, and really step up for the safety of concert goers, people in just live spaces, period.
I wonder, is there a way to even prepare for this? Because nobody, like you said, when you're doing the planning for a show like this, nobody is planning for this to happen. So how do you even prepare for something like this to happen?
I don't know, and I feel like when it comes out a little bit more how this could have happened, I feel like that's how we can kind of attack that. But even I was thinking of ways like tech solutions. People come into these festivals with these bands that only scan you in, right? We have all type of tech now that can track your heart, can track your oxygen levels, can track you when you're sick. You can put things now if you're gonna be get lost. It's all.
See, okay, I call this part one because it is almost an hour long, and we're pushing 45 minutes already. So this is the perfect place to cut off and pick up later. But I definitely like, see, you can see he's thinking ways to make things better, talking about bringing more tech into the equation, which I think that's the perfect place to pick up next time. That is big. That is definitely something that needs to be pursued more and investigated, and I like that he brought that up. So that's where we'll leave this video for now. We'll pick back up later. um, I definitely, I think this is, whether you're a Travis Scott fan or not, I think this conversation is very important and should be heard. Whether people care or not, that's fine. I'm not here to say you have to, but I definitely think people should take a listen and try to understand where his mind's at, as well as others, with the families that lost people and all that. So that's where we'll leave this video. We'll pick back up later tonight with part two, the rest of the conversation, man. But I appreciate um, everybody peeping this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Please drop a like if you're here for this kind of content, live reactions, whether it's sneaker based or life based, etc. Because again, this is bigger than Travis Scott shoes, and I believe it's not only a conversation about his character, the kind of things that he might have instigated or orchestrated. It's deep. It's very deep to me, and I believe it, like the conversations about cancel Travis Scott and all that, and it's a bigger conversation than people realize. But that's where we're at for now, man. We're gonna leave it there. Pick back up later. Probably, I want to say, I'm not even gonna put a time out there. I don't know. I will post something. You'll be notified. I promise you. But please drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe. Hit that comment. And let us know what you're thinking about that. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so you stay up to date when we're dropping new content. Go over to IG, drop a follow there, and yeah. Until next time, peace. Oh, hold on, because I said peace. My whole thing is peace, love, and positivity. So please, that is what I live by. I'm trying to every day. It's very difficult. But please share my message for peace, love, and positivity, man. And y'all stay blessed.